Okay, so now that regular people like you and me are getting their hands on a PS5, one of the first questions we have to ask ourselves is, where are we going to keep this massive thing? Sure, it looks great right next to the TV, but the reality is it's a big console and it may not be the safest thing to just leave it out in the open. On the other hand, the PS5 puts off so much heat. Is putting it inside a media cabinet really an option? Thanks to AC Infinity, it is. Today I'll be talking you through my experience purchasing, installing, and living with the Airplate T8. This kit includes one 6-inch intake fan, one 6-inch exhaust fan, one temperature control unit, and one temperature probe. Each fan can move 52 cubic feet of air per minute. This kit can be purchased for $99 from Amazon, but if you think you'll need to move more air, you can daisy chain up to a total of 6 fans into one temperature control unit. Also in the box, you'll find instructions and all the cables and mounting hardware that you'll need. I was really impressed with the instructions that came with the Airplate. They make cabinet cooling very beginner friendly and even talk you through the basics of where you should be mounting each fan and why. Each cabinet is going to be a little different, but the general rule I gathered from the instructions was put your intake fan low because that's where cool air likes to hang out, and put your exhaust fan high because the hot air coming out of your PS5 is naturally going to rise. I installed the Airplate on my Ikea BESTA media cabinet. I love doing projects like this with IKEA furniture because it's affordable, easy to modify, and I don't feel bad irreparably damaging it. And when I say irreparable damage, I mean it, because you have to cut one 5-inch hole for each fan and then another slightly smaller hole for the temperature control interface. Thankfully, the kit comes with a plastic template of each of the holes that you'll need to cut, so there's not a ton of measuring involved, which gave me a little more peace of mind before I started cutting. The instructions recommend using a drywall saw, and this worked perfectly for me. If your cut has minor imperfections or looks a little rough, it's no worry, because the Airplates have generous borders. Once your holes are cut to size, installing is a breeze. The back of the temperature control unit has 2 USB ports, one to power each fan, a temperature probe input, and a power input. The hardest part for me was actually cable managing, since the Airplate came with way more cable length than I needed. I just covered what I could with white tape, knowing that this isn't going to be on display often. The glass panel on the media cabinet is just frosted enough that you can see the light the PS5 is putting off, but not the wiring or any of the unsightly holes I had to cut. The Airplate has a few different modes that are all relatively straightforward. Auto and Smart use the temperature reading from the probe to determine if the fans need to be on and at what speed. On is a manual mode that allows you to choose a constant fan speed, and off is off. There's an alarm setting that will beep if the probe gets beyond a temperature of your choosing, and this offers great peace of mind for any PS5 owner who's worried about overcooking their brand new console. It's personally my favorite feature. Finally, you can turn off the display by pressing and holding the leaf light. This was a nice detail that AC Infinity included because they know that this system is going to be used in a lot of dark home theaters. Overall, I think the Airplate strikes a perfect balance between being affordable enough that you won't second guess investing in the long-term health of your PS5, while also not being so cheap that you'll worry about receiving a low-quality product. It's a clean, affordable, effective kit with smart features that make this a must-have if you plan on putting your PS5 in a media cabinet when gaming.